Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be storing some old brush bars for my 75 series. Yeah, let's get stuck into it. So these are the bars. These were actually cut off an old troopy that had been rusted out. Just at an old scrapyard here that I had found. So yeah, we cut them off the brackets here. Down here, there's a little bit of rust on the end here. Here is where we had to cut them off, but we're just going to cut the brackets off, grind it all up, and we'll go from there. So that's them cut off there. Just obviously they're gonna need a lot more cleaning up, but this is just to start off with, yeah. So there's a bracket here. We'll just cut these off and then we'll chuck over the blades and then grind them down. This is the another part here, but it's a bit rusted off here. But nothing we can't fix. But we get that's later down the track. Alright, so a little quick update. So we just grinded all those brackets off there. Just got them nice and smooth. You know, obviously to be sandpapered or whatnot soon. Same as this bracket here. Well, I guess the majority of that will probably get cut off anyways and replaced with a new pipe because it's rusted out. I've left this part here because I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be welding it to the bull bar or buying a clamp. Yeah, so on to the next one now. Now with this one's a bit better but also a bit worse in ways. Where is it? Over here. So these actually had snapped off. I didn't even have to cut them off when I took them off the old troopy there. So there's just that one to grind down, but then there's also this one here that had rusted out a bit more. So there was no bracket there. So we're obviously gonna have to make a new one there, and you make a new bracket for that one as well. But just more fun, I guess. Yep, so here's the second one. Just sort of grinded these out again. Yeah, not sure whether to be welding those onto the bull bar or buying the clamps. But yeah, this one only had really one spot to grind down, one bracket. But yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I guess we'll get to a bit of sandpapering now. Just clean them all up, you know, they're all pretty sort of beat up, you know, sand them down, give them a good paint job. Yep, so I just gave that a quick sandpaper just in the middle part there for about 10 minutes. Yeah, I just watered it off, gave a quick, wasn't very hard, but I think it might be definitely go get a wire wheel for the grinder, and that should just smash it all down. You know, we can sandpaper it, but you know, it's gonna just take a long time. I'd rather go spend the 15-20 bucks for a wire wheel, smash it out in half the time. So go get a grinder wheel and I'll be back. Alright, so we're back, guys. I've got the grinding wheel. Sort of not the wire wheel that I was going for, but sort of got sand, sort of like a sandpaper grit sort of thing. Gonna be definitely better than sandpapering it. You know, a lot of man hours. So we'll chuck this on and we'll get stuck into it. Alright guys, it just started raining, as you can see. It's pretty shit, so we're gonna just move inside here, undercover. We'll keep at it. So it's nice and raw now. It's all very smooth. It's all nice and clean. So I'll give you guys just a quick look. But yeah, it's pretty clean. Yeah, we'll just let it dry for a little bit. And we'll give it a rust-free epoxy as the primer. Should be sweet. So it's been a couple minutes. It's pretty dry. I think it's good to apply some paint to it. So we've just got this this Dulux epoxy and enamel. Just pick it up from your any local hardware store. It's only a few bucks, you know. It's going to protect for corrosion and all that. So we'll apply it, see how it looks. It's on here, just that epoxy primer. Yeah, and look, the sun has just come out as well for it to dry. So we'll let this side dry and we'll flip it over. We'll just do the same. Alright, in the meantime guys, we're gonna cut out our brackets that we're gonna be using. Yeah, so we'll just do that while the paint is drying. So we'll just draw these out and we'll cut them out. We'll get stuck into that. Alright, so we've got our 4 brackets that we're going to be making here. Obviously, we're going to have to bend them a bit and cut some holes in them. But we'll let them cool down. We'll jump under the car and we'll sort them out. Alright, so these brackets have cooled down now. We're going to scratch that for now. We're gonna go paint the other side of the brush bars. So we'll leave these for a little bit, but we'll come back to them. And we'll just get back into putting that rust-free preventative paint on there. Alright guys, in the meantime, while that paint's drying, we're just gonna muck around with these brush bar clamps. I actually just picked them up from the local wreckers down here, 25 bucks, real cheap, you know. But they're not in the best condition, as you can see. So we're just gonna give it a quick sandpaper, make it nice and smooth, and we'll give them a paint as well. And then hopefully we'll be able to size it up against the car and get it installed soon. Alright guys, so those brackets are nice and sandpapered down now. The paint on the brush bars seem pretty dry. So what we're actually going to do now is we're just going to put it up against the car, get sort of a mock-up, so we can get our brackets that will actually be going underneath the footsteps, so we can get that made up, and then hopefully we can just progress from there. So what we're doing here is, as you can see, we've just sort of lined it up against the car, and we just use this piece of metal here. This is not what we're going to be making the brackets out of, but this is just our template sort of thing. So this sort of we'll have holes in it there and there, and it'll actually just go underneath the side step, and we'll be able to weld on the inside and the outside for where the brush bar actually runs along, so be able to support our weight when we're getting in and out. And we're just going to be figuring out where to drill later on the bull bar for the clamps. So we'll keep getting at it. Alright, so what we've done, sort of just got some markings. The markings have just sort of gone off these sort of holes. We made the marking on the bull bar as well. A bit hard to see because it's black as well. So we'll drill those out, and hopefully we can get the brackets to line up without much adjustment. So we'll drill these all out, and we'll show you again. So we're getting somewhere now. As you can see over here, just got the bracket in there, not the right bolts, but they're just in there so we can have a look at it. So it just runs along nice and even. To the down to the steps there. Not too bad. Still got to do the brackets there, but we'll get onto them soon. Alright guys, so it's actually been a while. So as you can see, this is definitely different from the clamps. So what we actually done, we actually took them away, filled all these holes up that we had drilled, just welded it all up, grind it back down, and we actually just sort of welded it to the bull bar and then grind it down to make it look seamless. Both sides in there and under, because the brackets weren't sort of working. We couldn't really manipulate it to get it to fit, but it does look quite good. It's still in that grey colour, but we can paint it on there, so that's all right. And it's just sort of hanging there for the moment, but it still does have a bit of play. So that's when we're going to make the brackets, get them to fit nice under there, as we said before. But yeah, it has been a little while, so we're just going to get back into it now. We've just got this here. This is what I'm sort of working with. So I'm just going to actually cut, not all the way through, but on that line, so that I can do the other bend. So it's sort of going to be a lightning bolt, so where the cut is going to come straight back out. So I'm going to cut that just with the angle grinder, not too deep. I don't want to cut all the way through, and then we'll try and bend it just on the vise. Okay, so we just cut that there. Was pretty close to going through, but we'll just try and bend it, I guess, and then we can just try and weld it. So this is gonna I don't know how this is gonna go. Just give it a shot. Sort of going there. We need to go a bit more. We're gonna have to do a couple more cuts, I think. So the gap is actually a bit close, so we have to open a bit more and bend again, just to where we can get it to. But we're not there yet, so we have to do a little bit more cutting, but that's alright. So we give it another shot, and I think that should be pretty good. We'll just see what happens, and then we'll just sort of line it up. A bit more. It's a little bit awkward. Okay, we got a bit out of that. So that's what we sort of got there. But I'll just go put it just by the brush bars and see what we're sort of going at, if we need a bit more. It's actually fit, we have bent it enough. So I'm going to do now is, because there's a gap here, probably just weld that up and then grind it back down so it can't bend out and be secure, just like this one is here, nice and normal. And then probably just be drilling the holes for here so it can bolt into the side step. And then finally just do the weld on the end to the brush bar onto here. And then that is a little bit of a more completed. Alright, so this is just those two markings there where I'm gonna drill the two holes. So drill those out just with the drill, pilot hole them first and then go up in a bit bigger sizes. Okay, so I just drilled those out and they're bolted in to the underneath of this side step here. So you can see how it's coming down. It just comes along here and it will just sit just like that, and we'll put a weld along there, and whatever's left over, the sharp, just grind it off, make it nice and a bit more smooth. But that's how it's sort of going to be sitting, just like that there. It's quite neat. So I'll give you the underneath as well, so I can show you how it's bolted there. Oh, it's quite dark, you won't be able to see it, I don't think. But yeah, and then it's just from the bottom, it'll just be under there just like that, and then you can just put the weld on all three sides, along here, and on the back. So what I want to do just now, drill those holes out. Fits up, lines up all nicely, so I'm just going to clean it all, get all the surface rust off, clean the just those little sharp edges off, just on there, make it all nice and neat. And we can weld this part up here, then we get on to welding it to the actual brush bar. Okay, all nice and clean now. No sharp bits on the drills there. All nice and clean. So we'll just weld this part up here so it's stronger and it's not going to be flimsy in that. And then yeah, we can just go into the brush bars. Okay, so what I've done is I just welded just in there. And just a bit on the outside there as well, and just also on the sides and on the back. Then I just grinded it back down and smoothed it down to make it look seamless, and it's all very nice and shiny still, all nice and clean. So now we can bolt it back up to the side step, and we can go ahead and weld it to the brush bar. Alright, so I didn't actually realise we need some kill rust paint for the top of that, because that actually sits on top underneath the footstep, and once it's all welded we won't be able to paint it. So I'll just have to go to shop, get some paint that up, but not all the way, because where it's going to be welded obviously there's going to be heat, so just paint it where it's required and then paint where it needs to be afterwards. But I'll do that and we can get back to it. Alright, we're back from the shops there. Just went down there quickly, but I just got these two. So I got the Dulux epoxy and animal that I usually get, but they were actually out of just the Dulux normal flat black, so I had to get these squirts white knight. I don't really like to mix the two different paints, but that's just what I have to do this time, because yeah, they just added the Dulux flat black. So yeah, I'll just be putting this one on first. You know, just for that rust protection. That's what I always do with all my painting. And then this one can just go a couple of coats over, and then obviously with the clear to make it look nice. So I'll just get that bracket, and we can paint it where it needs to be painted. Alright, so this is what I was trying to say before. It might have been a bit confusing, not because I didn't really explain it as good, and it's more of a visual thing than understanding by talking. So I've just painted the top where it's going to go, where we won't actually be able to paint because it's going to be on the car. So I've just left this part unpainted where we will be able to paint, and just this side here as well where we will be able to paint, but not up here. So we'll just let that dry, bolt it back up, weld the actual brush bar itself just along here, and then we can let it dry down and do its thing, and we'll just go from there. Alright, it's all sweet now, nice and dry, so we can actually just go and bolt it up, and we can just keep working on from there. Alright guys, so that's bolted in underneath, and so yeah, the paint is all under there, so looks quite nice. So that's just sort of sits up there just like there. It's all nice and even all the way along there. So I'm thinking is just tack it in place on either side there, and just step back and just have a better look at it. Just make sure it sits right and that it's good. So we'll just tack that in place. Alright, so that's just tacked on there nicely. Just one little tack, because there's a bit of tension on it coming this way, so hopefully it doesn't break. But I just want to show you how it's equal the whole way. It's quite nice and equal. Well, really, you just want it to look good, but also protect the car as well. so yeah, it just runs nice and even the whole way. So I think that's fine there. I think it would be safe to weld that in there, weld on that side, and also just weld in there as well, and then just really just put the cutting disc on the grinder and just cut that excess stuff off there. But I think it's safe to weld. So a bit of work there, but it's in there now. So what actually happened was I welded it in on both sides, but on the front here, just here, it was exposed a lot. Yeah, just here, guys, it was exposed a lot. So I did just grind it down, and then just use the die grinder on the air compressor to smooth it all out. But yeah, you can see the paint is all still fresh there. The heat didn't really get to it, so that's good. And yeah, it can support the weight. I've already, it'll definitely support the weight. Doesn't even move. It's pretty strong. I guess we can just move on to just the other side down here now, and then this side's actually complete. Alright, so we've just got our second bracket here. Just going like that. So that's basically how it does sit. And now we're just gonna figure out our bend, or I'm gonna mark our bend along there, and just do the same as what we've done before. Put a cut in it, but not all the way through, and then bend it that way. So yeah, you can see that this one is slightly different to how that one is, because well, they're just different because they're slightly in different spots along the footstep. So yeah, I'll figure out where to put the holes, just these holes here. I'll get my markings for that, and my markings to go along here. Alright, so yeah, we're just doing the same as just before. Try to get our markings there. A little bit of guesswork. So I'll drill them out, and hopefully we do get them first shot just like other time. But yeah, just drill these out. Go with a pilot first, and then a bigger size. Just with the same size as the bolt that goes in there. And we'll just get through that, and we'll put it back up there again and get our other marking to go along there. So this is the other bracket here, so just with that line there. So it's actually a little bit different compared to the front one. The front one is actually maybe a tad bit up, but I expected that they're going to be a bit different. So I'm just going to put the battery in the grinder and cut that through and bend it. Alright, so you can just see in the background, it just started to have a bit of a shower just then. The weather's been crazy. So what we're going to just do, we're going to just put this back in here. And we're just going to try and get that bend in it, because I did cut it through there. But I also did just clean the metal up again, just while I was out there as well, because I knew the rain was going to be coming. But we can just try this again and just see how it goes. Yeah, we're getting a little bit out of it, but it's gonna definitely have to be cut a bit more. I'm not getting too much of a bend out of that. Yeah, so we're getting a little bit there. But yeah, as you see, it's definitely gonna have to be cut again, just in there, just a bit more out to get the full bend, because that's doesn't look like it's enough. Yeah, that's not enough. It's got to be a bit more out here. So yeah, we just cut a bit more out of there. Alright, we'll give it another go now. Just see if we can get that bit more extra bend out of it. Get that bend. We're getting a little bit out of that. I'm just going to move this. Just the thing is, you don't have much leverage to bend it. It's quite short, you know. But we're sort of getting there. That does look pretty good. So what I'm actually going to do now, because that does look alright, just go and size it up against underneath. And if we need a bit more, we'll just do a bit more. Alright, so that fits very nicely in there. I'm happy with it. It does line up very nicely just under there. So I'm going to do what I'm going to go ahead and do is just weld it along in there, make it strong again, so it's not going to be able to bend out. So you can just see the cut along either side. So I'll just weld that up, grind it back down, but we're not going to be able to paint it. I think this is just a small shower. I do see blue skies still out there, so we're going to have to wait for that before we can paint it. But for now, we'll just weld it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do, it's just stopped raining at the moment, so I'm just going to actually just spray it out here and then hook it up undercover. So I just spray the top, not down here because it's going to get heat there, so just the same as before. So I'll just go ahead and spray that. Alright, so that's just basically been hanging here to dry. So it's actually cut dry now. Left it for about an hour or so, just about over. So we can just go ahead and bolt that up and just do again what we did before, weld it up. If there's too much overhang, just cut it off and make it look seamless. So we just do that. Take a look at this. Both sides are in. Super happy with that. So you can just have a look underneath there. How they look there. Dog went past. But yeah, they look really nice. They're super smooth because I went over with the die grinder. But yeah, they're really smooth. They're super neat. Also very strong as well. Like I was putting my weight on that, it doesn't even move, see, like that. So really I can't ask for much more than that. But what I'm going to do is really just let that cool down, because it does have a bit of heat in there. But then just go over any imperfections and sandpaper it, I guess, get it all smooth. But yeah, just let that cool down for a minute. So I just actually just changed my mind, because this side is just set in place. It's not going to be going anywhere, so the painting can wait. So actually just going to go around to the other side, because I just want to look at getting it sort of tacked in place onto the bull bar. So it's just sitting here at the moment. This hasn't been painted, it's just got the rusty paint all over it. So I'm sort of going to see if I can try and mock it up there with these sort of crates and stack it up that side. So see if I can sort of mock it up and hopefully maybe can actually get it tacked in place and get this side set in its place as well, and then I think at the end then we're going to be painting it. So yeah, just try to get this side up. Alright, so I've sort of got it in place, so just still standing there, but I have just tacked it on, just on here, just to tack a couple of the other side, but I'm just sort of lining it up like that to try and get it as good as the other side. So that's this side, and then just this side as well, so they're nearly spot on. It was pretty close the first time, but then I just readjusted it, snapped the tack, and then went again. But it is sitting fairly good. So there's not that much room you can really back up and take a good look at it. So I'm just sort of going along here as well. If I do move these boxes, it'll just be hanging there, so there is a bit of movement in it. So you can sort of manipulate it a little bit, but from about here to there it's in place, but then at the back there's a bit of manipulation that you can move it. So I'm just sort of taking a look at it before I do go any further, but it is looking pretty good. Alright, so I am actually pretty happy with it, just with the shape of it, and it's all quite good. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and just weld it in. Guys, take a look at that. It's quite nice, looks seamless, you know. It looks quite raw right now because it's not painted, but it's obviously when it's painted it'll look really nice. But yeah, that's a bit of hours there in just welding it up, and then die grinding it, making it smooth. So what I done was I put a welder all the way around. It was actually a nice bead weld all the way around, and then I had just beefed it up so you can sort of get that sort of that motion to make it look seamless, that it was not even, it's just a whole one piece. But it's quite smooth now. I'm not going to worry about the sandpaper at the moment. I might actually come down to the just down to the brackets. Probably start with the back again and then do this one here. So I might look at doing this back one now. Alright, so basically this is just underneath the footstep. We won't be doing anything different to the other side. It's basically just repeat, so that it's going to go up there, find our holes, to drill out. Once those are done, we put them in, put our other bend in across there wherever that's got to really sit. So just find where our holes are going to be, template them and then cut them out. Alright guys, so this is just the bottom of the footstep here. So I've just drilled the holes, and then we can just try and see if these fit in. Let's give it a go. Yep, that one goes in there. So basically just the same as the other side. Oh yep, sweet, these go in. We can just do them up. Yep, so basically I just do this, and then I can sort of see how this has got a bit of movement, and then I can just figure out where I need to put my, you know, where that bend's got to be. But to find that, we have to just do these up properly, of just where it would normally be sitting. So yeah, and then I'm just going to get my marking along here. And then just the same as before, just cut it, bend it, and yeah, just the same procedure really. Just they're all going to be a little bit different, slightly angles, but yeah, really the same procedure. Alright, so I've just got the square here for our marking. I've got the marking on where we're going to be doing the cut. Pop this fucking lid off. Sweet. Boom. Alright, so that's where our marking is going to be. Same as before. You know, not all the way through, but just enough so we can get our bend in there. And who knows, probably the last two we've had to do a cut and then cut it again. But we'll cut that with angle grinder, and we'll see how much bend we can get out of it. Alright, yep, so we cut it. Let's see how much bend we can get out of it, eh? Getting a fair bit. Nah, that's as much as we're gonna get out of that one, I reckon. It does look pretty closed, yeah. Yep, that's pretty closed there. So we are gonna have to do, just cut that up there a little bit. But that's alright, and we'll just go again. Alright, and again, let's try it again. Yep, we got a bit out of that one. So I think I'm gonna go and try and size it up against the underneath of the footstep with the brush bar and see how it looks. Okay, so just size it up, and it does fit nice, and it's already shut here, so that's even better. So we don't have to go any more, but you probably already know what's next. Yep, so we're just going to weld it along there and on the side, and then just grind it back down. And then we'll actually just do the same as before, paint it to about here, and then that's we'll have to let it dry. Alright, while that's drying, what we're actually going to do is we're just going to go and get this other bracket, because it's not been bent or no holes in it, so we're just going to go and size it up against underneath and get where the holes are going to be drilled, because this takes about 90 minutes, the can reckons. But we'll just go until it's touch dry, So yeah, we'll just go use the other bracket and we'll get where the holes are going to be on it, because we can't really bend it, because once this one in it will move a bit. So yeah, we'll just get where we can drill the holes on the other bracket. So we're just going to do the same thing as again. So I just sort of get my sort of tees, I guess you can call them, and this is how I sort of get my where they're gonna be. So it is a little bit of a guess, but have a little bit of markings to go off. So I'm just gonna put this up there now, just like that. Yep. Just put that up there like that, so I can hear. And about here. Yep, that'd be cool. So I'm just gonna drill those out now. Nice and fresh, holes done. Can't really bend it now because we've got to wait for the other one to dry, but that's about it we can do for now. We just got to wait a little bit longer for that to dry, not long, but then we'll just smash it out again. Alright, so it's dry now, and now we can just put it back on underneath, put the bolts back in it, tighten it back up, and we can actually weld it back in. Weld it in there and do what we got to do. Yep, so this side's done now, all nice and seamless. Grind it down, then smooth out with the die grinder and all that. Yep, welded in there nicely. So I guess we can just get our bend ready for this side. You guys already know that. But yeah, we can figure out where our bend's going to be along somewhere here. But we'll take a look. Right, so this is just the bottom view. Basically we're just doing the same again. So we just want to get our angle that goes from underneath to the bottom of the underneath of this brush bar. So really, all I really do is just grab the ruler here, get where it's gonna be. Really move that out the way. Yep. And that one. Where it's going to be with the ruler straight, and boom, right here. Yep. Basically right there's where we're going to cut it and bend it. So that's how I get my angle for all of them that I've done. So we'll just take it back off and cut our angle. Alright, just same as before, just get that bend going, just with the hands. Alright. Yep, so we're obviously going to need a bit more than that, but our cut's shut, so we just have to do another cut, just open it a bit, and we'll bend, and we'll go get the bend again. Other times we've got on this second go, so see how we go with this one. Yeah, it's a bit better. It's hitting the thing. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna go check that. Yeah, that is pretty good. I'm gonna go check that. Alright, so yeah, that's the correct angle that's got to be at, just up there. So you probably already know what's next. Weld this up, grind it back down. So yeah, we'll just do that. Alright, so that's all nice and grinded there. Looks seamless. Sweet. So I just put under water, let it cool down, dried it all off. So I'm actually just gonna paint just the top, just like usual. Just paint all the top here, and we'll let that dry. Alright, sweet. So just nice and painted up now, nice and slick. Yep, shiny there. So we can just go around, bolt it up, and weld them in. Alright guys, so you can just see bolted up there, nice. Still coming under here, just so we can weld along there. Still all pretty nice. See, you can take the weather, just putting my hand pressure down there, and it's pretty. Can take the weight. So already done. Yes, you can just go ahead and weld this side up. Do what we usually do. You guys know what we're doing. Guys, so after doing this 4 times, I've got pretty efficient at it. This is probably the cleanest one by far. Super nice and seamless. So what we're gonna do now is, obviously, so we sort of banged them all up, and you know, things have hit them, I've all gone past. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna get a light sandpaper, clean them all up, and sort of get it ready, prepared for the, I guess, the painting stage, yeah, just sort of prepare it, do what I need to do, sandpaper it, whatever, get all the scuffs and marks and clean them all up. But yeah, I'll do that now. We've sandpapered it all, got it all nice and clean, and we've also just put these sheets over the bonnet and on all of the guards to really protect it, and it's just sort of slipped in behind the brush bar, so it's all the way down, all the way across the front bonnet and the other side, just so it gives that protection. And it will also be holding a bit of cardboard behind it while I spray it at the same time, just so we're 100% sure that we're not going to be getting paint anywhere else. But this side's pretty good to go. It's all super smooth, and I think the paint will go on very nice to it. So you get the gist of what I'm doing there to spray it. There's just one super light coat there, just on that side. I'm not going to show every single time I'm going to spray it, but because it's just super repetitive and quite boring really to watch. So what I'm going to do is sort of just
get it, all my coats, all the clear coats, all the black coats, and just sort of really get to show you where I finish it really. The final stage, I guess I'll show you when I'm just doing the last couple of clears. I'll bring it back, but I'm gonna smash all these other coats out, let them dry, you know, do what I gotta do, and show you when it's all nice. Alright guys, so we're back. It's been a couple of days, a lot of spraying, a lot of drying time. We've had fairly pretty good weather, so I'm just going to show you what the brush bars look like. Roll them clips. So you just seen after them nice little clips there, just on how nice it actually came out, you know, from the welding to here to actually just the full restoration, getting the brackets from the steps to all work. The weld here looks nice and seamless, from the painting from the bull bar all the way down. I think I've done a really good job. It has taken a little while, but you know, it's all been worth it. From something that we just got a good find off the side of the road to form something as good as this. I think it's super good. Alright, so I know this was probably a super long video, something longer than what we usually do, but there was a lot of effort and a lot of things that we had to do to get this work. That's why it's probably a longer video. I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably 40 minutes. Try to do what I can when editing it, but yeah, hopefully you guys stuck around and watched the whole video. I really do appreciate that. You know, it's just something really cool for myself, but yeah, thanks for watching guys. Stay tuned for all the videos to come.